Now last week we talked about the top 5 easiest reptiles to take care of. These were animals that were really just simple with the care that they need, their husbandry, and just require, pretty small enclosures. So today I thought, let's do the exact opposite. Yes, today we are going to be going over some of the most difficult reptiles to care in the pet trade. These are going to be animals that are going to require very special care. They're going to need their husbandry very on point. They're very sensitive animals, and all in all, just not very much information is known about them. So with all that being said, let's sit back, relax, and dive into the top 5 most difficult reptiles. Let's roll that intro. Kicking off our list, we are going to be starting with number 5, the Sunbeam Snake. Now, Sunbeam Snakes seem to have risen through popularity over the years, with groups, like the Reptile Report, sharing and posting the pictures. These guys are, well, really beautiful. They have the coloring and the beauty of a white-lipped python with the iridescence of a Brazilian rainbow boa. I mean, just to the common eye, anyone not knowing what this snake is and just taking a look at it, I'd want to own one myself. With that being said though, these guys really don't make good pets, and that's for a number of reasons. For starters, they're going to be one of those species that really are virtually no captive bred specimens in captivity. Okay. Pretty much it's a guarantee if you're picking up a Sunbeam Snake from anywhere, it's going to be an import and wild caught. And with that comes animals coming in with not great condition. Often these guys have a lot of problems, anything like external parasites, internal parasite, things that they're going to be needing to be dewormed, stress from acclimating into a captive enclosure instead of being out in the wild, any other known ailments, bacteria, infections, blah, blah, blah. A bunch of stuff's going to be wrong with them, most likely. Second reason why they don't make the best pets, well, we don't really know much about them. Even just doing a quick Google search trying to find any information I can about the Sunbeam Snake, there is going to be very spread far and thin of things you're going to be able to look at, any more documentation or care guides in order to figure out how to take care of your sun snake. Not really out there. That's not also to mention the fact that Sunbeam Snakes are burrowing snakes. You actually need to provide quite a large amount of substrate. These guys only get about 3 feet, so most people are going to be housing them in anything like a rack system or a 20-gallon aquarium. You're going to need anywhere from 8 to 12 inches of substrate, and they're going to be in the ground the most time. So really the number one reason why most people want this snake is because, oh, it's a beautiful snake, look at that iridescence, it's amazing. You're not really going to see it. It's kind of going to be in the ground the whole time. So number 5, Sunbeam Snakes. And then moving down this list, let's talk about number 4, the Draco flying lizard. Now you guys have all probably heard, the David Attenborough, documentation, the Draco flying lizard, the lizard that flies and glides through the air. An amazing animal, and now I can keep that as my own pet? That sounds awesome. Not really, it kind of sucks. So Draco flying lizards are going to be one of those species which is going to be, you're actually going to see a repeating progress through all of these numbers. It's going to be 90% import. I think I've only seen one person so far that actually successfully have raised and captive bred these animals and had babies for sale. They were quite expensive, so I didn't end up getting one. But other than, that one guy I saw, it's been years and I have not seen anyone else captive breeding these guys. So again, one of those things, most of the time, these things are going to come wild caught with their set of problems. And then also, of course, this being a very, uncommon, almost a rare lizard, not much information about them. Again, Google searching, you don't really see any definite care guides. There's not going to be any YouTube videos of people saying, how to care for these guys. It's one of those species that you really have to figure out yourself. And then lastly, I guess when so much the care is difficult, more as the enclosure size that they're needing. For a lizard that's going to get probably somewhere around this big, they need a pretty massive enclosure. I've heard words around in groups, people talking about a 3 foot by 2 foot by 5 foot to house just one Draco lizard. And remember, we're talking about a lizard that is going to be about this big, needing a 3 foot by 2 foot by 5 foot. That's a pretty large space for a pretty small lizard. And that's only the minimum recommended size. You can even go further than that, to just whole bedroom for a Draco flying lizard. That might be better for him. But yeah, all in all, the Draco flying lizard it's a pretty difficult pet to keep. Alright, but enough about the Draco flying lizard. Let's move on to number 3, the dragon snake. Dragon snake is almost the pinnacle of the reptile hobbyist, dream pets of having. Beautiful animals, such an obscure, rare little dude. A gray snake with these keeled snails over it. They really are a stunning species. However, with them being, you know, excuse you. However, with how sought after this snake is and really just how rare it is, the snake's gonna run into, again, those two reasons. Rare to find, always gonna be an import more than likely, and not much information about them. These snakes are pretty much a pain in the ass to take care of, if I do say so myself. Dragon snakes, while not needing so much of a large enclosure, anything like a 20-gallon or an equivalent rack tub system will do the trick, but the fact is that the actual husbandry needs of themselves. These guys do like to keep at a cooler range. They thrive in temperatures such as 72 to 75. They're gonna be one of those species that, one, they don't need any basking spot. They thrive at that ambient temperature of 72 to 75, and they are very sensitive and prone to, well, when it comes to heating and lighting, these guys want to be kept in a dimly lit area, so rack systems I do find might work better for the dragon snake and with a low temperature. Not only that, the dragon snake needs a very high humidity. We are talking about staying at a constant of 85 to 95%. That's pretty difficult to accomplish. You're going to need a room that stays fairly humid, and of course the enclosure is staying fairly humid a lot. I guess things like such as, you know, automatic misty systems or like that would help. However, you know, if you're using something like a rack system, because once again these guys are sensitive to light, it gets a little difficult. And then last but not least, the dragon snake is going... Damn squeaky chair. The dragon snake is not gonna be one of those species that's just gonna take the frozen mouse or frozen rat right at the tongs. Nope. These are gonna be guys where you're gonna have to come by, you know, feeder lizards, frogs, fish, things like this is going to be more of the dragon snake diet, and they seem to be a very hard species to get acclimated to feeding on rodents. So while yes, the dragon snake is an amazing animal and very gorgeous, at the same time, real pain in the ass to take care of. And alright guys, real quick, you know, before we get into the next part of this, the last two, is there two left? I think there's two left. Before we get to this final two animals, just want to, you know, take a second, if you could go right down there, that like button right there, maybe hit the subscribe button right down there, super appreciate it, be awesome. Let's move on. Coming down to the last two, we are going to be talking about number 2, the Earless Monitor. Now I remember years back first hearing about the Earless Monitor, just fascinating. This thing really, I really fell in love with the species, those piercing blue eyes, just the, take a look at this. This is just a cool monitor species, and it's small. Maybe that's something I can take care of. You know, I thought this might be the right monitor for me. Then I found out how much they cost and how long the wait list is and how the care that's involved with them, and I said, nope, that's not the monitor for me. The Earless Monitors are kind of a fascinating topic. The fact is that they weren't really known to be. They've kind of been like this elusive animal in the wild ever since like 1815. They started dropping on, people didn't really know much about them. Then it seems, I don't know the exact year, you know, years back, kind of when I first started getting into reptiles, the Earless Monitor was brought into captivity, you know, through imports, and people have been starting projects with captive breeding. To be honest, I haven't been keeping up with this over the years, so I don't know if there has been successful captive breeding with the Earless Monitor, or if it's still one of those things, you know, like the dragon snake, what's the Bolin's python, you know, people are trying to breed them, but nothing's really going on right now. Now, I know this is going to be a shock to some of you guys, but the Earless Monitor is mostly imported, and wait, there's not much information about them. I know, yeah, I can't believe it, you know, even though we literally just said that the last 3 animals, this one, what? No information on them? Come on. Now honestly, when I was actually trying to research about the Earless Monitor for this video, this was the animal that gave me the hardest time finding information. There is virtually no information about the species and how to take care of them. I found this one little thing that gave me some information on how their care goes, but all in all, this was a, you know, species where I really could not find any care. So Earless Monitors are going to be much like the crocodile skink I try to compare them to, that shy, sensitive species that really doesn't want to be touched with, messed with, and kind of wants to be let alone on its own accord. Here's the tricky thing with the Earless Monitor. They are a semi-aquatic monitor. And we're not talking about semi-aquatic like the water monitor where they like to swim and they like to have a nice little, no, these guys actually majorly depend on having a water feature. Not only do you need this water feature, they also need ground as well. They really need that, both the semi-aquatic parts of the water feature while also having land to go on as well. without having those two things available for the Earless Monitor, they seem to perish rather quickly. Not only that, the water temperatures inside the water need to be set at a specific temperature. This isn't something that you're going to be able to just pour some water in and boom, your Earless Monitor is going to be happy. Nope, it needs to be heated, filtered, all this other stuff. Yeah. All in all, Earless Monitor, wow, what's the word? Pain in the ass to keep. Beautiful though. Beautiful monitor. Probably one of my favorites. I don't talk about it much, but whew, that seems like a hard piece of species to keep. Alrighty, coming down on our list, we're gonna be talking about number one, the animal that I found is the hardest to take care of. Number one, most difficult species. Number one, the elephant trunk snake. I know what you guys are thinking. Dakota, the fuck is an elephant trunk snake? I have never heard of that before. I know, they're a cool snake, also known as the file snake, not to be confused with the other file snake. There's this file snake and then this file snake. The file snake and or elephant trunk snake is a completely aquatic snake. It's actually probably the only species where I would recommend you keep a snake in an aquarium. Yeah, that was a dumb comment. Now, not only are you getting thrown into, of course, the other bunch of things that I've been saying, you know, import, hard to care for, no care out there, always gonna have, you know, problems with blah, blah, blah. Elephant trunk snakes are not an easy snake to take care of. With being pretty much a fully aquatic snake, these animals are going to need, well, water. This comes with filtering water, making sure that it's set at the right temperature for the snake. How rude. Will I ever get videos done this week? I don't know, guys. I don't know. But yeah, all in all, you have to pretty much have any more knowledge, you know, setting up a water tank, you know, having it all good, blah, blah, blah. This seems to be a species where you really need to keep the water clean. It's actually recommended that you don't put any substrate on the bottom, such as, you know, pebbles, gravel, water, sand, whatever you call it. You kind of just want to make it, they're pain in the ass to clean. You don't want extra stuff in there that you have to clean, essentially. Now, I know this may come as a surprise, but elephant trunk snakes also don't really like to take rats. I know. How many rats do we constantly see at the bottom of water? Of course, why don't they take rats? It's understandable, I know your concerns, but unfortunately, just not the case. Elephant trunk snakes are of course going to be, with being an aquatic snake, they want to eat fish. Fish, amphibians, frogs, things like this. Most of the time you might kind of get away with dead fish, but usually it is shown that these guys do need live feeder fish. You can get a variety of it. I don't really know what fish are good with that. Again, can't find much on the elephant trunk snake. It's definitely why I made it on the list. Odd looking snake, what is this? That is an odd looking animal, but... Will I ever get these videos done? Alright, geez, I have had to like redo so much stuff because of the bargain. We're gonna wrap it up here, folks. Elephant trunk snake, weird looking dude, odd, a rarity, very hard to take care of. What do you guys think of these? Did you like the top 5 video? If you want to see some more, definitely leave a like and then give me a recommendation. If you have one top 5 you want me to do, I'll definitely do it right there in the comment section. Put it up there. Let's get to the outro. Now, if you liked the video, please feel free to give us a thumbs up. If you want to see some more of my animals or my breeding products, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, DBCB Exotic. We're also on TikTok. Hey, do you like some cool merch design? It's not gonna be one of these, but it might be one of these, that one, or maybe that one. You can find that all down there in the description, which is Zen Habitats, by the way. They make cool enclosures. That's right there. You might want to buy one of those. But wait, what's right by that Zen Habitats link? That is Patreon. Patreon.com/DBCBExotics. Where you get to see some cool, awesome stuff like pictures I take of my animals before anyone else gets to see them, animals I get before anyone else gets to see them. You get up-to-date information, are the first to know about animals that are laying eggs, hatching out, first dibs on those animals. There even is a tier where you can get discounts on merch and discounts on the animals I produce. That sounds pretty cool. How much do you think that starts out with? 10, 20, 50 bucks a month? No, it's going to be as low as $1 a month. As simple as a McChicken. Actually, I honestly think it is less money than a McChicken because there is tax in most states. Unless you're out of state. Is there a state that doesn't do tax? I don't know. Swing over, get a McChicken, and swing over and get the tier 1 sub, and you tell me which one's more. We'll see you later.